2023 will mark the 50th anniversary of the most underrated musical of the modern era. Now, to say this movie is underrated to fans of the movie and the stage show seems kind of foolish, but 50 years later, this movie should be as high up as West Side Story, as all the great musicals of all time, American in Paris. And why I think that the movie has not lasted in the minds of people, because it's a very, into 2022 is a very niche market. The very devout Christians who believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Now in 2022, religion for most people is very splintered. Either they're failed Christians, failed Catholics, failed Protestants. The gurus didn't do anything. But Jesus Christ Superstar, led by the great Ted Neeley, who has played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar literally for 50 years. There are scenes in this movie that the artwork of Jesus Christ showing him kind of that blondish, kind of, not say Slavic, but, the non-traditional Jewish, visage. There are scenes in here where he looks exactly like Jesus. We're going to talk about a certain scene that, according to him, a lot of people became Christians because they saw Jesus through him in this scene. Now, this musical number is called Everything's All Right, now sung by Von Elman, and it's a big confrontation between Teddy Anderson, who played Judas, and Neeley, who plays Jesus Christ. And the key to the scene is Jesus reaches out his hand to Judas. In this version, Judas is black, American black person, by the way, not African black. And Teddy Neeley again, a Jesus lookalike, but with a way to channel the Son of God. They reach out for each other, and there's a scene where he's basically staring at Jesus, and Ted Neeley, with no special effects, looks exactly like the traditional artwork of Jesus that was popular in the early 20th century, going back to that 1922 or 23 artwork that's been seen in many homes. Now, he said in published reports and on a very important Canadian talk show many years ago, the Deanie Petty Show, that people became Christians or born-again Christians by watching his movie. Now, you can't watch Jesus Christ Superstar as an atheist because you don't get it, do you? Now, the problem with the movie got no love, very little love from the Golden Globes, and no love from the Oscars. I think it only got a nomination for a score. It was considered at the time anti-Semitic. Now, the death of Jesus is a Jew, obviously, and the people that wanted to stop him from spreading the word of his father, the Lord, they were not say anti-Jewish, but anti-Jesus. For people at the time, they were very sensitive of anything that criticized the Jews. Now, this goes way farther, 5 years later with Vanessa Redgrave, how she talked about, she did a documentary in the PLO and the battle between the Jewish state and the PLO and stuff like that. Hollywood, a lot of Jews there, and I'm part Jewish myself, is very sensitive to anything that shows the Jews in a bad light, or not say condescending, but a confrontational light, saying, yeah, okay, Jesus was crucified, but he was crucified primarily by his own people, or the people that were being run by the Romans. Now, the idea is here, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ Superstar is on Hollywood Suite in Canada this week, is being shown, today, December 25th, and a few more days throughout the month, and is available on demand. If you haven't seen it before, watch. Now, Teddy Neeley's vocal range is unlike anything you probably heard before. You look at heavy metal music, you look at certain singers, opera singers. He is the most underrated singer of all time. Now, I found a video the other day with the Teddy Neeley 5, which was the original band. He was doing a version on the Smothers Brothers show of Always Something There to Remind Me, and he was tremendous as a pop singer. But in here, he's luminous, and he's supporting cast of Von Elman, again, one of the most underrated female singers of all time. And, if I'm not mistaken, she's one of the few superstars from Hawaii, female singers that have reached mainstream celebration. So she's kind of one of her own, in her own culture, Aboriginal, you might say, or, indigenous. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ Superstar, I first saw the movie in 1974, and I was amazed by that scene. I'm amazed by Neeley, because a lot of the scenes he does by himself. He's supporting cast is there for a lot of scenes. But what's kind of ironic here, ladies and gentlemen, if you really look closely, if you're a future porn star, Eric Thomas plays one of the major apostles in the movie. I don't want to give it away, but he has a very shaggy look, not the look he had when he was a professional, what he call naked actor. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ Superstar, 5 out of 5 for me, and a very underrated, my fellow Canadian Norman Jewison. Fiddler on a Roof, he did previous to that, In the Heat of the Night. He is technically a top 5 director in my mind, and the most underrated director because this was his baby project with the songwriters and the producers and the developers, and it holds up. The reason why it holds up, it's too honest for the people who love it and too honest to the people who hate it, so that's why it holds up. There is no wasted scene in this movie. And we're dealing with the last 7 days of Jesus. The interpretation of what he went through can be allowed in what he called musical form. That's what literature is. This is not an exact retelling of the crucifixion of Jesus, because it's like a stage show in the Israeli desert or the Israeli area, and it's quite tremendous. Again, it goes so quick, but you cannot watch it more than once or 2 or 3 times to not being touched by the effort and the dedication it took for everybody in the movie to celebrate spirituality and Christianity. Anyway, but if you're an atheist or a pagan or whatever, it's still a good movie. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Teddy Neeley, what a voice. Thanks for listening. Happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and go Habs go. Bye.